the Serverblight, a fictional entity in the world of the game Team Fortress 2. It's dangerous, it having the ability to take over the accounts of the people playing TF2 when they come across it. But it does more than that. When people's accounts are consumed by the Blight and added to its ever-growing horde, it also takes the souls of the real people, leaving them as these empty husks left in a coma. Their bodies left with no soul, not killing them, but trapping them in a never-ending, hellish void, unable to control their actions and forced to do whatever the Blight wants. And I believe I have solved what the Serverblight is, where it came from, and what it wants, more than anything. Everything that the series has shown us has led me to what I believe to be the true origin of this entity. But just to be sure, I had to fly all the way to Germany from the US to meet with the two creators of Serverblight to get some answers. Okay guys, I'm at a location that the two idiot Germans said to meet them at. And right now I'm not seeing them, and this is kind of a weird place here. Let me show you. It's seems to be some abandoned building. Derv? Lino? What? Guys? Guys? Hello? What? Guys, this isn't funny. What are they doing? Guys? Come on now, let's come on, I just wanted to talk about Serverblight. I came all the way to Germany to see guys. Ah!
We have your orbit now.
Okay, so I didn't get any answers while over there, and I'm totally not locked in the cage in Durf's and Lino's basement right now. But let's get into the real theory. I believe the Serverblight is, or well, in this case was, a human. A normal human that had become the Serverblight. And I know that sounds crazy, so in order for this to make sense, we have to go back to the beginning. And I mean the very beginning. The Serverblight way back in episode 1 showed us that it had some basic forms of intelligence. An entity, learning and adapting to the environment that it lives in, aka Team Fortress 2. Which, I will get to why I believe TF2 to be the place where the Blight thrives later. But, from the beginning, we saw that it had the ability to recreate or reuse the bodies of other TF2 players. With it making these imperfect recreations, with it not fully mastering the ability to copy another player. It was almost as if it was just born. And along with this, the Serverblight makes people's movements and bodies become linked to the person who's playing Soul. But the other key thing to note is that the weakness we all know about when it comes to the Blight is that if a player is killed by another player, or if a player dies by jumping off the map, they can escape it, with the Serverblight essentially locking down any server it's in, preventing players from leaving. And as we see in episodes 2 and 3, the Serverblight evolves and learns from its environment quickly, with it gaining the ability to travel between servers in episode 2 through latching onto Johnny Danny, and episode 3, it learns mimicry, with it taking what people have said in the game and reusing those voice lines. And what I believe is one of the most telling of the origin of the Serverblight, we have to look at the video titled Puppet. In this episode, we are told multiple things about what it likes, what it thrives off of. We listen to a sniper describing its feelings and what it's experiencing as one of the trapped souls. How the Serverblight makes them suffer, constantly, and how it contorts and rearranges the player in this never-ending hell. But in this episode, the most important part of what this player says is this.
They split, and 1,000 parasitic tendrils wrap around my mind. It wants me to go along with it, to move and scream like the others. I resist. Its smile widens behind my head. It savors my resistance.
The Serverblight needs control and wants the player to go through all this pain. Any resistance makes it enjoy it taking control more. That it almost thinks it's funny or enjoyable that the players think that they can escape it. It's confident. It's cocky, almost. Episode 4 doesn't show much in terms of the evolution, but it does show how the Serverblight interacts with the real world when the player comes in contact with it reaching into the real world and taking their souls, leaving their bodies as empty husk. The episode titled Reflection does show something that I feel is very important to my theory, which is the saw scene. With the Serverblight, when it took the player classic and proceeded to smile as it sawed him, as the blade cut into this newly assimilated player. It's all a sick game and enjoys every bit of it. The episode Awareness doesn't show much that's new in regards to the Serverblight, but it does show us something that I think is overlooked as something scary in this episode. In this episode, we see the player Nexus come across the Blight yet again, but this time it's become this huge and deformed amalgamation, which we have seen only bits of when the Serverblight has done this before, in previous episodes, but this time we get a full-on view of it, and it's horrifying. But I believe that there was a reason for us to see this. Because an important thing to note is that it wasn't just traveling all around the map till later in the episode, but just sitting there in the corner, by spawn, waiting. It wanted someone to just see it, to strike fear into whoever came across it. That I believe the Serverblight is not only learning to perfect its recreations of other players, but at the same time the Serverblight itself is becoming more and more corrupted, growing and changing into a more horrifying creature. Not because of natural growth, but because it just wants to become something more fearful. That it wants everyone to fear it. In the episode Doubt, the main thing that we witness is that we see the player Classic again, but this time we know that they are already taken over by the Serverblight. But we see that he is still controlled by the Blight until it allows for just a moment for Classic to talk again and not be trapped in its hellish void, but only then after for a train to hit him, keeping him still trapped within the Blight. Again, choosing to strike fear into Aaron, but also toying with its victims. The Serverblight has been shown again and again that it's having fun, doing what it believes is enjoyable, while also gaining strength and intelligence from doing so. And finally, we reach the newest episode of Serverblight, titled Conviction, which tells more about what the Serverblight wants, but also how it wants to be perceived. The Serverblight now, as we see, wants to be seen as a god, with it not actually being one, but wants people to see it as one. As if its ego or something is growing, with now a person, Savior, being the voice for the Serverblight, to speak its thoughts and intentions. But of course, we only got part of the story. But corrupting people into believing that they are being saved and not trapped in its hellish existence. But we know that's a lie. That the Blight doesn't want to save people, but to make people suffer, as we have seen time and time again. But after going through all this, why do I think the Serverblight was a human? I think this is all a story of revenge. The Serverblight itself has the characteristics of someone who wants to make others suffer and enjoys it. Someone who loathes people, but it feels some type of sick happiness from making people suffer. That enjoys making people feel alone as well, whether by assimilating them and making them feel alone within itself, or leaving people alone with no friends, left alive, like Aaron. Or, if they're not left alive, striking so much fear into players like Bread Dolphin, leaving them too scared and leaving Aaron alone. And it's doing this because the Serverblight was alone too. Here's my theory. The Serverblight was just a TF2 player. Like you, like me. And they loved the game. It was their main pastime. But it was all they had. Constantly playing the game, but with no one else. They were always playing alone. Constantly ignored in voice chat and text chat. Just a person who was probably pretty good at the game. Outside of Team Fortress 2, they most likely didn't have anyone in their real life. While we can't guess the age of the person, we can assume that they were probably a teenager to young adult. Maybe they were even bullied, suffering at the hands of people who got enjoyment from being a stronger and bigger person than someone else. This person was completely and utterly alone, and constantly in pain. Just like how the Serverblight wants other people to feel the same way. Then this player who felt nothing but pain their whole life decided they wanted to log on to TF2 and play their favorite game before, well, ending their life. In what I believe to be strange circumstance had their soul enter Team Fortress. Them intertwined with their favorite character. But instead of just existing in TF2, they were so filled with hate and rage that they became corrupted and focused on dealing pain to everyone and everything for leaving him alone and causing him so much suffering. And with the knowledge of his favorite game, he has become the Serverblight we see today. And that's my idea, at least. Well, I know it may be cliche to be like, ooh, ghosts in the game, but that's technically what all the souls are that are trapped in the Serverblight are, so... And of course, the Serverblight itself and how it works might be inspired by one of the creators' obsessions, aka Durfish, and the Tyranids from Warhammer, with them also assimilating life forms, and they also have a hive mind similar to the Serverblight. But I think where the Serverblight and Tyranids differentiate is that the Tyranids assimilate to survive and live, and they also do not really feel any emotions, while the Serverblight does it because it likes to, and grows in knowledge and strength because of assimilation. But yeah, that's my theory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you have your own theories, let me know them as well. And hopefully the Germans will release me soon. See.
We have your orbit now. It would be very unwise to not like, subscribe, and leave a comment on the video. And hit that bell. Or else. Okay. Line up, T-pose. Wait, let's activate this light.
How do you turn on? How the fuck do you turn on? Wait, where's the light? The light. Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Cut this out.
We have your orbit now.
Okay. Going by on their bike, they're like calling the police.